Okay, so here's my deck that I have saved as Tron Standard. I've been playing this deck like crazy. I reached Mythic with it from Platinum, I think. I grinded through Diamond into Mythic over the course of like 19 hours of gameplay because I was preparing for SGC Con Hartford. I ended up doing pretty not well enough in the LCQs to get in. Generally, the deck didn't perform that well over the weekend, and I still figured I would post the video anyways because I think this is something new. It's been performing really well in general, just not that well over the weekend. And I found out that there are a lot of aspects of paper magic that I wasn't prepared for. Rulings and missing triggers and little things like that here and there that I got better at over the weekend, but it was too late. I missed the Friday LCQs and did not get into the main event. But it was still a fun weekend anyways, and this deck I still really like. The one thing about it is that with the rotation coming up soon, Liberator will be rotating out, and that is a huge part of this deck. So, the reason why it's called Tron Standard, and at the event I learned about Ancient Tomb, but it's because of Muragana Raceway. You start your engines, you get to max speed, and the Raceway starts giving you 2 colorless mana. And Racer's Scoreboard, which when you are at max speed, spells cost 1 less to cast. So you get to max speed and you play control. You use all your tools like Temporary Lockdown and Perilous Snare and Get Lost and change the equation. Unstable Glyph Bridge, which is a really nice sweeper. And it's particularly necessary in this deck because not only do you want your sweeper to be an artifact card so that it gains flash from Liberator, it is also important that it leaves something behind. And so if Liberator hasn't triggered on a spell cast yet, if the first spell you cast after Liberator comes out is Glyph Bridge, the Liberator will have 2 power and stick. Sticking something through your own removal spell kind of does help in this deck a lot. It wraths just the right things, and it hits in all the right ways. And the Craft with Artifact actually brings out a very strong control tool as well. So because you have all these different benefits, you play this one. It's the only Wrath that you can give flash to. So that's the one that's here. And of course, all of this is in service of landing Ugin. So Ugin is a cast trigger to exile 1 target permanent that's 1 or more colors when you cast it, but also whenever you cast any colorless spell. And that, of course, happens even when you're casting them with flash because of your Liberator. There are Day of Judgments in the sideboard anyways. The sideboard is all just regular control stuff. You'll see Tishana's Day of Judgment, the Filigree Silex, 2 more Temporary Lockdowns because as we all learned over Hartford, and as I learned a little too late too, because I wasn't doing this during any of the LCQs, I should have been. I had no temporary lockdowns in the main at the time, and I absolutely should have. It's crazy to me that Prowess, I played it 5 out of 7 rounds during my LCQs, and it was, I only won 1 of those. Very difficult matchup, obviously the best deck in the format. I actually wish it was better. Ideally it'd be a little worse. I am somebody that thinks Corey Steelcutter does need to go. This is like a little different than a normal situation. But if it was even a little stronger, I think we'd be better off because the representation is like a little low for being able to main deck cards like Temp Lockdown, which once I started maining it during the weekend, started to lose to other things because I was drawing 2 Temp Lockdowns in my opening hand, or like drawing into 2 Temp Lockdowns during the game and losing because it does nothing in most of the other matchups. And so having to like hard commit to a matchup and main deck sideboard cards for it, and then just hoping you see it, even though the representation is under 50%, sucks. It really sucks. It's not great. It makes the format really difficult. But this deck does have the power and the inevitability to kind of push through some of those situations, so I was still able to win most of the time if I didn't play against Prowess, and not enough of the time if I did play against Prowess. And so, let's get into some Mythic rank games. Ooh, a numbered guy. And we're playing first. And we have a good hand. Opening Raceway is pretty important. Sometimes I mull for it. I don't always. You really need a way to start your engines at all. But any hand that's Raceway and a 1/1 is really good. Raceway Gingerbrute is outrageous. Raceway Combat Krieger is acceptable. Oh boy. Okay, that's going to make things tougher. So this hack is not going to go through, obviously, so let's just put a Royo down and accept. So we can put a Royo down and make sure our speed still goes up this turn. Next turn, I'll be able to get lost through an attack, hopefully. I have to assume because he's playing aggro, he will be attacking with the Hired Claw. Next turn, I can actually Perilous Snare, just to stay on curve, and get an attack through. If he Burst Lightnings here, why is he hovering that? If he Burst Lightnings here, that's very strange. I don't think he will. I think it's going to be land, attack, and then using the Hired Claw, unless he has some kind of, I don't know, Core Steel Cutter. I don't think 2 Mountains is unlikely if he's playing Prowess. So I don't know what he's playing for sure, but I'm going to assume it's Mono Red. I'm going to assume... Yup. Alright. So that gives us a very good tempo. Perilous Snare will come down immediately. Perilous Snare, once we get to max speed, will put a counter on something every turn. Market Backwalker, when it dies, you draw a card for every single counter on it. So we will be converting the Perilous Snare triggers every turn into draws, which we will need to find Ugin, because we are already about to be at 5 out of 7 mana. So we're getting up there pretty quickly here. Tursa's fine. If he keeps spending every turn playing one creature, we're going to stay ahead pretty easily here by the simple nature of the fact that we happened to go first. I'm going to go ahead and put this Market Backwalker down for 1. We could do 2 here, but I want to make sure Change Equation and Get Lost are still live. Let's go ahead and make it 2, so we're going to draw 2, and we can just pass like this. The last mana is going to get wasted off of this extra production, so that is going to float like a colorless at the end of this that we can't really use well. If he wants to just swing with Tursa, I will block it with Market Back. I will actually, I might let it go. I might just let the attack go and try to get this up to 3. That I cannot let go. I do not want him to get an extra card at any point, if possible. I'm going to assume there's a Monstrous Rage in his hand now that he might use on the Tursa if I block here, and I want to see it so that I can Get Lost it in retrospect. Even though it's going to mean I end up taking 4 damage, I think he might do that even if I don't block. And I want the 2 draws as soon as possible, because I have another Market Backwalker to put the Perilous Snares on anyways, and I really gotta find 2 more lands and an Ugin before we crumble here. Or a temporary lockdown or anything of that nature, right? We're looking for something to really seal this game in. Ooh, no... So, is it Emberheart Challenger then? No land, unfortunately. Looks like Emberheart Challenger? Nothing. Okay, interesting. We got another land, so we can do this at x = 2 with no problem while holding up to Get Lost. That's good. That'll also let us float this off. So, in the same way that a lot of green decks have like some guy that they can pay mana to sacrifice for value in response to an attack, Combat Courier is a very good blocker. Combat Courier, funnily enough, has the exact stat line of that's very good for us, thank God. And that's enough land, so now we're just looking for Ugin, which means I want every opportunity to draw that is possible. If they do not play a certain way, there's a high chance I Combat Courier block, sack it off to draw a card. This card, because of the Unearth and sack for 2, is literally the same card as Think Twice. It's essentially Think Twice. And I think here I'm going to not Get Lost. We save the amount of damage, the same amount of damage, and if I draw Ugin here, then I don't care about anything. So I'd rather potentially draw Ugin than actually change the board state. We also have temp lockdowns and all sorts of things to draw here, so I'm just going to let it ride. And we drew 2 Restless Anchorages instead. Very funny. Alright, let's go ahead and get deck thin. Put down a Combat Courier that we can sack off. Put down a Market Backwalker that we can block with. So the Market Backwalker is going to be a 2/2. This is going to go away. I'm going to be using the Get Lost and this. So there's actually a good chance we leave the Market Backwalker there, and I put a 3rd counter on the next turn. I could have put it down as a 2/2 and then put a counter on it this turn, but I think I would actually rather, it's safer to do it like this, in general. Oh, and we have something to block anyways, so this will probably block here, this will probably block here. And I think there's a very good chance that we see the Monstrous Rage I've been reading this entire time come down right now. So here, and I want to see the Monstrous Rage before I Get Lost the Emberheart Challenger. Unfortunately, he will be getting a card, but he will be tapped out, so maybe it's a land, or maybe nothing happens. There's the expected Monstrous Rage, there's our Get Lost coming down, and let's go ahead and use the Courier right now. Before they make their Emberheart Challenger selection. Even though, like, in theory, you'd want to wait. Oh, and they hit a Soulstone Sanctuary. That's really good for them. Okay, things are getting tricky here. We're going to need to see Ugin, like, in the next 2 turns. I think, realistically, we have 2 turns before things get really bad. And I would have liked to Get Lost on the Screaming Nemesis, but I kind of don't care. I have a little bit of, like, I don't really care. Oh, perfect! And as you can see, this is a 2/2. Okay, so we can put a 3rd counter on here. Make it so that this dies too. but I think I'd want to block the Soulstone Sanctuary with it. Obviously. So let's go ahead and do it like this, so that we keep up 1 blue. We can go ahead and Unstable Glyph Bridge like a freak. Very strong Unstable Glyph Bridge. Always happy to see one of those. Perilous Snare onto the Market Backwalkers, so we draw 3. We've seen a lot of Market Backwalkers gotten to max speed and had a Perilous Snare, so that's a very good hand. And I would really like it for this very good hand to convert into an Ugin sometime soon. And yeah, I was missing a lot of Perilous Snare triggers in real life. Very unfortunate. And I was forgetting about my Glyph Bridge being able to craft too. It was not great. I also found that I forgot I had Combat Couriers to unearth. These are just draws, right? I can bring this back for 1 and sack it to draw at any time. So the fact that I was forgetting that was really bad playing on my part. So a lot of mistakes in real life that I would love to not have made. In this case, it seems like what's going to happen is I'm about to Combat Courier block, and if he has another Monstrous Rage, I will simply die. If I block with Market Backwalker, I will also die, so I think it's better to do this anyways. If he has a Monstrous Rage, I take 7. And I have to draw Ugin in these next 2 draws. Ugh, okay, that's fine, I guess. I love the Ugin, though. Or a Ginger Brute. A Ginger Brute would be nice as well. We could use, Ginger Brute's a food, so drawing Ginger Brute here is also very good. Any of the above, really. I'm going to be Perilous Snaring and converting this next turn, so once this crafts, he won't be able to attack and cast spells, or he won't be able to cast spells and attack. Oh, no! Oh, that's tough. And, oh my god. A little late, Ginger Brute. A little late. Let's make it so he can't attack anymore, so that's part 1. That's obviously an important part of all this. Our combat couriers are getting harder to... our think twices, you might say, are getting harder to use here, unfortunately. But let's just go ahead, spread this out, make sure this is a 5-4 so it can block the Soulstone Sanctuary. Maybe I should have gone for a 7-5 instead. Either way, if he casts a spell, he will not be able to attack this turn. If he chooses to attack, he will not be able to cast a spell this turn. We are in a good position to simply win next turn. If we draw removal, it'll get very easy. If we don't draw removal, it'll get a little harder. It might take 2 turns, unfortunately, which is obviously pretty slow. I would like to close this game out now, if possible. So right now we have access to, so let's just go ahead and count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12... 13, 14, and we can pay for it to put a counter on this, so 15, 16. So he has 16 damage. That is very hard to stop. He's playing the Screaming Nemesis, cannot attack with it. We have to do all our damage in the air. That's not great. We do have to draw removal now to actually get through, which sucks. Obviously, that sucks. I'm gonna need to draw removal. That's not removal, but it's not bad. Let's go ahead and... So it'll never... Arena's auto-tapper will never use the Murgon Raceways. Because it refuses to float mana that way, unfortunately. Let me just see... 1, 2, 3, 4, 8... 9... 10... 10, and we're short 3. The Ginger Brute can't do it. Nothing can really do it. I think it's not happening. Let's put this down. We can still sack it in response to the Screaming Nemesis, even though we're not going to gain any life. It's impossible for him to have Monstrous Rage because of the Sand Swirl. So, because Monstrous Rage is simply not a factor, we can go ahead and sack the Ginger Brute just to invalidate the Screaming Nemesis attack, even though it will simply not do anything in reality. Let's go ahead and map token here onto here, I guess. Ugh, God. We can pay 1 to bring back a courier, draw a card. We don't have any real removal to use anyway, so we might as well just do this. It's not great. Doesn't feel good. I'm going to actually... There's no good way to use this floating mana, is there? And I'd rather not go down to... Let's just put this down just in case we need it for something. even though it doesn't really make sense. Let's just put it down. Any blockers would be appreciated. Oh my god, I don't have 2 mana to sack this off anymore. Okay, we'll just block the 3 Nemesis for 1, so he can only redirect 1 damage. If he chooses to attack, it's going to make things really bad for him anyways. And I want to go ahead and make sure that, let's see, the Heartfire Hero will hit us for 1, this will hit us for 1. This can come up and I can block it here. It seems like there should be no way for him to win. Any card that he plays will remove his ability to attack. Any attack that he makes will remove his ability to play cards. So because of those 2 things, it should be impossible to lose here. The Sand Swirl is a little weird because if they declare an attack, Sand Swirl has a continuous effect that just says each opponent who attacked you or a planeswalker you control this turn can't cast spells. So if he declares an attack, he automatically, it doesn't go on the stack or anything, he just cannot cast spells anymore. However, because it's a condition that it itself is applying, if it leaves the field, he can cast spells again. On the other hand, if he casts a spell, it goes on the stack. And as soon as it goes on the stack, even if it leaves the field, he cannot attack anymore, no matter what. So very strange that they made the spell one a trigger, and they made the cast one. Oh, we're taking 4? That's more than I was hoping, but it's fine. Let's go ahead and trade them off like this because I want to draw 2 cards. Even though I don't think it matters. No, it matters, it matters, it matters. Let's do it like this. And again, he simply cannot cast spells anymore, so it's impossible for him to have Monstrous Rage. It's impossible for him to have Burst Lightning specifically. There is a world... Oh, we would have... Okay. We would have actually... That was a mistake. I can't believe I didn't think that through. First of all, we never should have put the 2/2 down. I should have left the Gingerbrute to sack itself. Second of all, I should have put... I should have put the Market Backwalker down for 1. Because what we wanted was to be able to sack the Gingerbrute and leave the Heartfire Hero alive. So that's what we actually wanted to do. Big mistake on my part. Did not get punished even though I could have. And that was not great of me to do. Filigree Silex is still good sweeping in a matchup like this. Unstable Glyph Bridge is good, but too slow once we put in the better ones for the matchup. We can go ahead and take Mendicant out because Mendicant falls under Temporary Lockdown. We leave behind these 2 because they're very easy to get rid of. These 3, even though they all go under Temp Lockdown, very easy to sack off. Change the equation. We're going second. It's going to be too slow 99% of the time. I'm just going to take it out completely. And then the last one is usually the 3rd Urza's Thopter because 3 for 1/2 is too slow and too small. Even though it grows on turn 4, and that's not fast enough. So that is usually the siding pattern. All 4 Ugins stay in because we just need them. That game would have been much easier with an Ugin. This is an amazing hand. 5 lands is fine. This deck makes its card advantage back very quickly. Almost every card in here, so you can actually think of the Combat Couriers and the Market Backwalkers as draw spells. So they are kind of like the same as the Moment of Truth and the stock-ups in other control decks, but instead they're colorless. So it's essentially every colorless card I could find that drew a card in the right way while also being a body that could potentially turn my speed up. And so that combination of 2 things allows me to essentially make sure that I'm drawing my deck while getting to max speed. And then once the Ugin lands, those same draw spells and those same max speed, that same max speed contributes back around into the original game plan. And it looks like we are heavily on that game plan this time. So let's go ahead and put down both. I'm going to leave this Gingerbrute in my hand for now. We can play it pretty quickly later. But I want to make sure that we have a caster on the Ugin just in case. So when the Ugin comes in for 7, we can actually 0 it to get more mana to play cards like Gingerbrute. Potentially do 4 exiles right immediately. Usually it's only 1 or 2. Sometimes it's just Gingerbrute sack itself to gain 3. But even plays like that are plenty at a time like this. So very happy to do stuff like that. Very happy to be getting rid of an Emberheart Challenger for real. Wow. Alright, we are in a very good position here. We're hitting max speed right now. We are 1 lane short of the Ugin, but the Raceway will catch us up pretty quickly here. I'm going to leave the Gingerbrute in my hand again because we want to put it down for this, and I want to have the Smite up, even though we don't really need it. I don't really need the Gingerbrutes anymore either, so that's the other funny thing about the Gingerbrutes in this deck. You play it like an aggro deck. You're trying to force damage through, but you only care about forcing 1 damage through each turn. And as soon as you hit max speed, you full convert into a control plan. So I'm going to be using Gingerbrute as a blocker from now on. Let's go ahead and Spite again, because we're just lucky this time. This guy's getting smoked. It's not... I don't know if it's his fault. And that is the land we need. So we are now going to also be doing that. Let's go ahead and use the Restless Anchorage. No, there's no purpose to that. Let's just hold off aggro for now. All we have to do from this point on is play a land and pass and live. And the two Gingerbrutes are going to do amazing at that. So that doesn't matter. He's going to swing. We're going to block. Let's go ahead and gain our 3 life. In spite of the screwing nemesis right in front of us, he has any. We are above our original life total now somehow against aggro. Let's go ahead and drop the island, because I don't want that many planes anyways. Pass again. Again, all that we care about is being alive at the end of these turns. And the Ugin will take care of everything else. So as soon as this Ugin drops next turn, he probably will concede. Sometimes they have an out to this. So there are times where they have an out to this, but in just red, I don't know. A second nemesis is not good for me. Let's go ahead and do the same thing. We'll stay up at 21. And he has 1 red open. We drew a colorless card. Pretty awesome. Let's just go ahead and end this game completely. And so we have hit our inevitability. If we find Karnstopter, it'll get even harder, etc., etc., etc. If we weren't at 21, I would have plus the Ugin. If we were like under 12, I would have plus the Ugin to gain 3 life, draw a card, and then play the Market Backwalker for 0. In this case, we have another land in our hand. Let's get our Market Backwalker draw if possible. Let's get our Ugin trigger if possible. We don't need the 3 life. We do need the cards. And this is a more efficient way of getting those cards, because it can convert into even more than just 1 card, right? It's actually pretty... Right now, I'll probably just allow him to deal 3. We actually don't care about anything except the Ugin surviving. And so it doesn't really... Oh, man... It's fine. I mean, these are all going to turn into draws anyways, because the Market Backwalker can plus at least once. Although the Tish will probably come down this turn too. Market Backwalker is very good at converting a lot of game states. It's pretty cool how good it fits into this deck. And like, we've now hit the point where the Gingerbrutes are unreasonable draws, right? It's crazy if we draw Gingerbrute. It's crazy if we draw Courier. Like, every card in our deck has become outrageous now. I think I am going to Tish this here. It's too easy and too free. Get him out of here. We're only going to have 1 Market Backwalker trigger, but drawing 2 is plenty. It no longer triggers when it dies because of the Tish. So we are in a good spot to trade everything off. Draw 2. We have our Ugin still. I don't think it's possible for us to lose at this point. I've said that before and lost, but in this case, as a control deck, this is a very outrageous situation. And although I could let this fly and it wouldn't really matter, I would actually prefer to draw the 2 cards, because we're looking for a seal on the game. We're looking for the game to be over. There it is. Alright, it's almost impossible to lose now. Let's go ahead and drop the Gingerbrute. Just get rid of this. We have an excess of mana, so this is no longer on the... Yeah, let's just end it. And the Karnstopter makes sure that there's nothing he can draw or do after the fact. So, easy game. This deck has a very good mono-red matchup. The Prowess matchup is much harder, as you can probably imagine, because the scattered tokens and the Cory Steel Cutters and all of the different resource engines make it very hard for a series of Ugin exiles to actually properly affect them. Mono red is much easier to tear apart that way. So this hand is almost good, but as you can see, nothing starts our engines here. Going first is gonna suck. I think I'm going to put this back. If there was anything that started our engines, not even particularly a land, I would keep this, but it's not gonna work out. Much better, but the Raceway is not helping. And I think I'm gonna put a Plains back and start on the Anchorage, because we want to start our engines as soon as possible, and it's gonna be Mendicant. Mendicant people actually, so Mendicant is interesting because if it stays on the field at full speed, you do actually get an obscene amount of value out of it. You can double the snares and you can double the walkers. That's a crazy draw. Mendicant plan is no longer the plan. So doubling things with the Mendicant is outrageous. But it's more important that we can play it on turn 2 to start our engines in certain hands. And it's more important against control because it can produce an incredible amount of power when we drop it off the Karnstopter when they tap out and just make it like a 12-1, 12-3 and just attack for game through control. So the Mendicant serves a bunch of weird purposes, and when we drop it on turn 2, it's almost always just pure bait. I think in this case, I am pretty worried about him taking over the game with Delirium, and Perilous Snare is the right move here. It feels, I don't like doing this because this is a very low value Perilous Snare, but you know, it's fine. I'd rather get lost this than that anyways, right? So it's fine. If we had held the snare a little longer, we would have been able to double it next turn. We would need 6 mana to do it all at once, and we only have 5 here, so it's a little tricky, but it's fine. We can do this, we can drop the Market Backwalker, we can put a counter on it, like, we're in our max speed. If I wait a turn, I can double the Market Backwalker. And I think, because I might draw a land here, I would rather hold off. Oh, good, okay. And he's not pushing anymore, so... Lucky read. Yeah, fine. Good. Things worked out. So that was a good, not really a read, more of a good risk to take, I guess. Drawing a land here won't help us because we only have a way to spend 5 or 7 efficiently. So even if I draw a land, I'm still going to drop the Market Backwalker for X=1 anyways. He got to Delirium regardless? Yeah, I guess he did. Wow. We don't have a way to interact with Grave, so that's just there now. We can't really do anything about that. Let's go ahead and make our copies. So we have a lot of good blockers. Let's put the counter on the real one so if he bounces it, it reduces how much value we lose when they bounce a token. Although I don't know how he bounces stuff in this deck anyways. And that's all I got. Can't really attack. Another Seed of Hope, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's not like we have... So, like, Ghost Vacuum, I think, is too slow for this matchup. I'm not even going to put it in. That sucks. I think I'm going to take 1 draw here. I'm going to turn my healing off forever. I'm going to turn my healing off forever no matter what I do. I guess I just take 3. Ah, that sucks. I really want the draw. I want the draw really bad, actually. But I don't think it's worth losing healing, especially when... Oh my god, that's crazy. Can I live for sure? I think so. Doubling Racer Scoreboard is this deck's, like, most outrageous play. The Ugins are going to be 5 cost for the rest of the game. And I'm assuming we see it. Yep, I'm assuming we see it when we draw 4. And let's see if we draw another land. No, but we drew Liberator, which will make things way harder later. I'm going to make this Market Backwalker X3, so we can potentially draw 3, but I think I'm actually just going to block the 1/1 into here. I think I'm actually just going to let the Nemesis go again. I think letting the Nemesis go again is right. This is never blocking, ever. So let's just send it in for the free swing. Just put him at 7, yeah. Let's just take the damage while we can get it, while the board is set up for it. It's going to be hard for him to swing this game enough from here. Having the double scoreboard makes everything outrageous. I'm going to be dropping Ugin for 5, healing 3. I need to be able to still heal, so we're just going to take the 3 from the Nemesis, hopefully block everything else. Audacity! +2 and Trample. Yikes! So we have 3 exiles. We can exile the Audacity first, actually. We're taking 6? Can't miss both maps. You can't miss both maps, right? So we're probably taking 6 here. I think he's probably putting that land down. Well, no, wait, no. He did put a land. No, I don't think he did. I don't know if he put a land down this turn. Who can say? Who can say? And that's the kind of thing that was getting me in real life. I don't keep track of that stuff. Playing a lot and a lot of Arena doesn't help you get better in real life. And, you know, I had to learn that the hard way. And hopefully the next event I'm going to in person is going to be the Las Vegas Magic Con. We will be playing almost entirely Final Fantasy Limited as a bunch of Final Fantasy freaks. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. So this for sure. We take 6 for sure. I don't have mana to heal. Oh no. I was not thinking about FOMO correctly. It looks like we're going to be taking 7. Or... Oh my god! Wow! And a trample too! Oh my god! That's bonkers. These Delirium guys are really something else. Alright, well... That was not avoidable. I truly don't think that was avoidable. Let's take the temp lockdowns in. We need to get rid of FOMOs when possible. Let's take out... Dang. Maybe that was avoidable. No, because we had to play the Racer scoreboard there, and I think there was a turn where I could have held up a heal on the Ginger Brute, and I didn't, and maybe that's when we lost the game on one of the 3 damage ones, but it's really hard to play around when they just have... I mean, those guys love drawing hands like that. Okay. I take out scoreboard a lot when we were giving up on getting ahead, especially when the Mendicants are out. We just take them out. Let's just say we're going to win normally. Let's put in the Silexes because we need that kind of thing. Unstable Glyph Bridge is not too slow in this matchup, so it's different from Mono Red. Let's put in the Smite's not as good in this matchup, obviously. No, it's still good in this matchup. Tashana's Time Diner is also good in this matchup. Let's take out all of the Liberators because we are going to give up a little bit on the Ugin control plan. Once these come out, we're kind of doing that. We still want all 4 Ugins anyways, but we're not going to drive it home as hard. Change the equation is going to be fast enough here. We can take out some of the Couriers if we're giving up on that, but I don't think we should. I think what we really can give up on is the... maybe it's the Temp Lockdown. No, the Temp Lockdown's really good here. Day of Judgment we don't need, I think, is the mistake here. Well, we're putting in Day of Judgment, so I guess we don't need the Glyph Bridges as much. And Tidebinder might not be as good as I'm thinking either, because it still trades into stuff like FOMO anyways, but we want to trade it into... If it's just for Screaming Nemesis, what are the... Oh, jeez, no. Let's take it out. So not Tish for this one, and change the equation for sure. Get Lost for sure, Perilous Snare for sure. Temp Lockdown is iffy, though. Temp Lockdown we can, like, lose to a single. So maybe we take out 2 Temp Lockdowns, leave that at 2. Put in 1 Liberator and leave it like this. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try this. And maybe the 2 Temp Lockdowns should be Glyph Bridges. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. The Delirium deck is really hard to properly interact with for me. This deck is a very bad matchup here. But it's not unwinnable by any means. This hand is going to need us to draw a land. But we have the Smite in the Lockdown. I think I'm just going to keep it, because it's easier to draw a land than it is to draw those cards together. Having 2 good cards for the matchup is kind of worth it, I think. So let's play the top land first. Keep the basics in our deck so that we are more likely to draw them. And draw 1. Nope. Okay. Fabled Passage is going to go immediately. Let's leave the Elspeth Smite up for the Scarecrow. We have our 2 white sources for temporary lockdowns. We can draw anything. Breakout. Well, whatever he gets is getting smited immediately. Nothing. And no land. So let's go for a draw. Let's hope that draws a land. There's Nemesis. Yikes. Right? We need to get the Day of Judgment now, so now we need 2 lands? This is only going to take 1, and we're going to lose our healing forever. This sucks. This is bad. This is really bad. And we didn't draw a land anyways. Oh, God. Oh, my God. We are getting cooked. Let's put this down in case we draw a tap land next turn, and I need to block and gain 3. Oh, it doesn't matter. We can't gain 3, so we're probably just gonna just block and take 1 again. Dang, that sucks. We can 10 block down here at least, even though that's really bad. Let's go ahead and take our 1 damage. We already can't heal anymore, so we're not, like, saving ourselves from anything. Which means maybe I should have just smited? I don't know. Okay, get lost is good. Can you put another... let's just leave everything up. You can smite and get lost. It sucks that we can't heal, but we're still at 18, so it's not the worst case scenario. This is good. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. We're missing speed. We're missing too many things, but we're on like a control plan anyways. So let's just say we'll get there at some point. Maybe he'll play into FOMO because of the fact that... Or he'll play into temp lockdown, and I'll be able to smite well. Well, the smite... Smite's not going to work. This is a land and an artifact, and a sorcery. Land, artifact, creature, sorcery. So smite's not going to work. This is going to 7 for sure. I think we smite here, unfortunately. Take another 3. Get lost the Keen-Eyed Curator and just let it ride. I think that's our only choice here. This one's looking bad, though. Yep, goes to 7. God, this deck is outrageous. It's so outrageous when they draw like this. And when we draw like this. And it makes sense. It did well at Hartford. It's not like it's bad. Like, I wouldn't say, like... He's really not even getting that lucky. This deck is just good. Okay, we need to start our engines. So let's start our engines. There's no good way to trick him into not letting us do this, so we might as well just do it while we can. Exiling things here is really bad because, okay, I mean, but it doesn't really make sense. If he draws another one and he doesn't have artifact creatures to go for anymore, like he can't, like, find 7 again, it's gonna be his fault if he can't, like, remake it, because there's not 4 types anymore. There were, before he did that. So, interesting. Oh my god, I forgot about Tursa. Tursa doesn't go under temp lockdown either. Wow! We're screwed. We're ruined. He's probably going to drop another creature, and we're going to need to draw a land for Day of Judgment. Nope, he is not. Okay, I was wrong. Nope, I was right. Yeah, and he doesn't have Delirium for that guy anymore. Or, like, he doesn't have 4 things to exile. What the heck was he thinking? And there we go. We're lucky. We're lucky! So the control plan continues to work. We are control players. Maybe we'll just draw to 7. Oh, no! Sunspinelings? Really? Is that off the top, or is he just one of those guys that has Sunspinelings in his hand waiting? And we take a lot from Sunspinelings, like always. That's a good one. Let's put this down. We can't heal anymore, but I'd rather just get the mana out of the way. Because we want to start attacking with Gingerbrute later, too. There's a very good chance we're dead. I don't know how we live. Not summoning Tursa is crazy. Maybe he really wants us to use up our mana so I can't counter the Tursa? No, he's just not playing it. That is a surprise. Let's swing, get our speed up, even though it's not super helping us, but we need to be able to top deck Muragana Raceway. Let's put this down, and that is probably the best we can do, because we need to hold up 2 mana. We only have 3 cost things. Seed of Hope. Does this say both players can't gain life? Players can't gain life. That's fine. Is that a frickin'... We are doing a good job of holding off this Sunspinelings for free. I don't understand what the Tursa is doing. There has to be something he's doing by holding the Tursa up, but I can't imagine what it is. And the thing is, oh my god, we did actually top deck it. Okay, so it's a good thing we've been doing this. Let's put down Market Backwalker for X equals 2. Pretend we're still holding up something for 2. I don't know what it is, but we are. Because it seems like he's playing around something that we are holding up for 2. This still doesn't have trample. Now they're playing Tersa, but I don't know why they waited. So if we draw any land, we're dropping Ugin next turn, but we still can't heal. If we draw... not great. What did they hit? Another Tersa. Bad, 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 bad. All bad. Monstrous Rage off the top? Violent Urge? Come on! We're going to 1. Let's hope we draw really crazy. So we can't heal at all. 2 lands is not even bad. I'm happy we drew 2 lands. Let's go ahead and deal our 1, get down our Ugin, start exiling everything, just believe in ourselves from this point on, right? Just assume that we'll live, because that's the best I can do, is assume I'll live. Let's put the counter on the Ginger Brute that's not open, because... And let's just gain life, I think. Even though we can't gain life. Oh my god! Yeah, these guys are freaking wild. These... God. Yeah. These, whew. What can we do? What can anyone do? You know? What can a person do? Another good hand. Another good start on the other side. We have Temp Lockdown, we have Lonely Arroyo. This is really, realistically, a very good situation for us. Let's try to make sure we get to max speed before we play this, or at least to 3. What we want to do is... that makes things harder, but he is going to attack, right? No? Okay, so Arroyo for land, for speed. Combat Courier down. We have the wrong speed land. I only run 1, the Jeskai Raceway, just because I wanted to run 23 lands, because I was getting mana screwed all the time. So putting in the Jeskai Raceway just is 1 more land that also is a engine starter, which is important. It looks like they actually want to keep us off max speed. And there really isn't much I can do about it. It seems like that's just going to work. So we're going to put this down. We need to get 2 1/1s in the field so we can attack. Next turn I'll be able to attack with these 2. Whichever one he blocks, I'll do something with. So if he blocks this one, I'll sack it. If he blocks this one, I'll just let it die. So we should be getting our draw no matter what. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Temp Lockdown might be coming soon. So let's go ahead and attack with this Market Backwalker. See if he blocks it. See if I get my draw or not. Aha! He doesn't want to let me draw. Okay. So let's go ahead and pass. I'm going to be using the courier on his turn. I'm going to be using the courier on his turn to draw a card. Hopefully we get into another land and we start getting into where we need to be, because we can always use the Unearth to get into the... and the auto tapper took his white away, so he can't draw Helping Hand. That is unfortunate for him. The nature of the auto tapper is that it really truly sucks all the time, 100% of the time. He's on Delirium? Oh no. I didn't know that. The heck? Why do I not pay attention to that? Whatever. We're going to be Temp Lockdowning next turn anyways. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's good. That's really good. Let's get our attack in. See if he has changed his ways. Just give me the draw. No? Okay. So, we'll get our free mana in Temp Lockdown. Let's see. Can I use this mana better in any way? Because in theory I could like Temp Lock, I could Glyph Bridge, but the Glyph Bridge will leave one thing out. I could always scoreboard first, and then I'll be able to spend... No, but that's not going to work out. So let's just go Temp Lockdown and drop another Market Backwalker. I think is the most efficient way to do this. If he has a Spell Pierce, even better. Sorry, I'm the max speed. So far so good, but let's see if he has the Helping Hand, which is going to hurt. We'll be able to Glyph Bridge it immediately, thank God, but it's still not going to be fun if he has it, and that is perfectly fine. Let's see. So next turn is going to be a scoreboard turn, almost for sure. Either that or a Liberator turn, because we can Liberator, and then, because we have 5 mana, we can drop the Liberator, then drop the Market Backwalker for 2. Actually, that might be what I do here. He can Proft to make that wrong, but then I can Unstable Glyph Bridge on the next turn to get everything if I have to. So, the exact card I named. Okay, so because of this, now the Glyph Bridge will kill it. We will be dropping Liberator anyways, just for mana efficiency's sake, and the Liberator will allow us to play the Glyph Bridge as a flash spell on the following turn. So, we're going to take the 3. So the plan if he didn't do that was to drop this and make this a 2-3 to block a 2-2 with. But that was probably wishful thinking all along. So once we get the Liberator down, we'll be able to start making some better choices. Because we'll have everything in our hand has Flash. So everything has Flash. We don't have to do anything on our turn anymore. I can even... That's fine. And we can just pass easily. And see what he does. So we can drop the Glyph Bridge on his turn. It'll make the Urza a 2-3, which means it will survive the Glyph Bridge. Hopefully he has nothing on his entire field that survives the Glyph Bridge at that point. The Proft actually prompts him to play into it, and Glyph Bridge is not a card that people know about. Even if they've seen it before, or played it before, or read it before, they can't really play around it. Perfect! That is going to be an attack trigger, so as soon as we see the little phase thing go onto the sword icon, I'm going to throw that thing down hard. Where are you profting? Yeah, let's get rid of him. Yeah, super good, super good Glyph Bridge here. Spell Pierce would have hurt, though. But we are lucky, and he wasted his first Spell Pierce because I guess he didn't read Muraganda Raceway. There's Helping Hand. Oh, and we don't have our Glyph Bridge anymore. Sucks! Maybe we'll draw something even better than Glyph Bridge. Or we'll just be blocking like a little freak for a while. Nope, not better. So let's go ahead and drop this finally. Get our trigger, get our draw 2. Everything costs 0. We are drawing a land. Let's discard Courier because we might need life more than we need anything else. Drop this down. We can hold up to change the equation. We can hold this up. These are all 0 blockers. I think we're in a good spot here to be fine. To be fine, like, in the long run. We're not fine right now. Like, right now we're in dire straits, of course. FOMO. We don't have removal. Let's get rid of it. Can't handle the FOMO here. Especially the empty hand FOMO, the really high value FOMO. Let's just not let it happen. They attack out. Interesting. I don't trust him. Is he one of those guys that flips a Peeps off of Peeps immediately? Because if he is, I'll scream. I'll do it. I'll scream. I'm not doing this. This is nonsense. This is like... That's asking for it. I just don't believe him. And we can draw Ugin here. We have 6 mana, and it'll cost 6. Gosh dang. Where's Ugin? He is a guy that draws it off that? What the heck? Man, these people that that flip Oculus off Oculus right off the bat make me sick. They really make me sick. Wow. We're getting boned. Alright, let's see if we can find it out to the Oculus. No. I don't have the mana for this. I think we just have to do this. We have to do this no matter what. We can play Gingerbreads down to block with and not sack them off if we have to. And maybe I should have put the Adarkar Waste down instead of the Arroyo so that we had 2 mana here. That's actually almost for sure what I was supposed to do. So oops. But I think we have to give up on the Liberator here. We have to hold up the Wanderer glyph for sure so that he can't kill us with cards, so he cannot cast spells for the rest of his turn. And I have the opportunity to draw plenty of things, and let's draw one of them, please. Oculus for Oculus is never fun. see. We have 6 life. In theory, we're alive, but it's not looking good. We're going to cast spells next. Oh, thank God. I can't believe that took so long to find. Just any of our multiple removal spells. So we're in a very good spot now. Because 6 life is enough to live unless one of these is another Oculus. Let's go ahead and put a counter here. Start getting into the position that we need to be in. We need 4 mana open, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 open. So if I do this, I can't sack both of them off, and we need to sack both of them off. So let's pass again. If he swings, we can once again take a guaranteed combat that we know exactly how it'll go. The only downside is if he flips up a Oculus right now, it's going to get tough. Really, really bad. So if his Oculuses hit more Oculuses... Okay. So he's given up on the ability to play more cards. Let's go ahead and take our turn where everything essentially has... what's it called? Split second, because he can't interact. And draw into Ugin now, please? I don't even know if Ugin's good enough anymore. It might have to be Glyph Bridge, the second Glyph Bridge. Oh my god. This deck hates us. Yeah, it's over. It's over, unless this is Glyph Bridge right here. No. No, it didn't happen. That sucks. That sucks. And I would really like to stay above 90%. Yikes. That sucks. It's not that bad. I think I'm going to go for... What I really want are 2 Ghost Vacuums, but that's really not happening. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to just believe it. We lose if we lose. If we lose, we lose, right? I have the Unstable Gift Bridge, so in theory, if we find a 5th land, we are good anyways. There's a second Ghost Vacuum regardless. But let's stay on plan. Stay on target, just believe it'll work out, right? I'd really like to make sure that we don't get screwed too hard here. So luckily we are not dealing with a turn 2 helping hand. That's good. We can get 3 damage in, but we don't need to, so let's not force the issue. Ghost Vacuum for sure. Ghost Vacuum is going to be held up. Let's put Courier down. Hold the Ghost Vacuum to potentially double it. I'm looking for another land to draw so we can drop this to get the 4th speed when he thinks that he's trying to stop us. If he really hard tries to stop us here... Also, we need another land, I guess, for the Glyph Bridge anyways. Oh. Ghost Vacuum. Or, I mean, Sheltered by Ghosts. For Mendicant. Interesting. Probably not right. Let's make sure it's harder for him to have 6 cards to play the guy from hand. We still need to just draw a 5th land. We don't need to swing with Courier, so that makes that easier. Let's go ahead and block and draw here. Or draw and torch the tower, draw in response to torch the tower, yeah. We'll take the 3, and I need to draw a land. Oh my god. Maybe this is one of those games. This is another one of those games. Some games, you know, you lose to aggro normally, even if you draw fine. Sometimes they just get you anyways. But this is, I think this is one of those ones where, like, you know, it's getting ruined. We're just gonna get ruined. It's fine. What can anyone do? Yeah, we are getting messed up. We're at max speed, but it's not for a reason. And it might be time to just put Ghost Vacuum number 2 down, because there's nothing to pretend with anymore. Alrighty. What are you gonna do? What can anyone do about any of this?
You're gonna wish you never missed Chandra Noir.
Just can't find a land to save our lives. Can't find a land to save our lives, literally.
No breaking till the end!
All we need is a land to be fine, to be completely fine. Why? Why? Why are you doing this to us? Another Steam Core? I guess that doesn't matter. We have a land. We have to draw land in 2 cards. Fine. I was honestly ready for this anyways.
Go, go!
Burst Lightning? No, Burst Lightning's not good enough. What's good enough here? There's stuff that's good enough here. Land? I think we still die at this point. Oh my god! That's so crazy! Okay, fine. Fine. It's not good enough, but fine. Well, that was really sad. I'll be keeping these games in and crying about it. Them's the breaks. Whatever we could get lost on turn 2 isn't going to be worth get lost on turn 2. I know that logic doesn't hold up in Modern, but good, it worked out. I would never get lost at Beanstalk. Hanging out with the cards, honestly. If I want to make sure that we get something through, I'm going to be dropping the Liberator with Flash in his end step. Yeah. So I guess this is a good one for showcase reasons. For how iffy this deck's aggro matchups are, even though I think, like, if you just draw normally, you're fine. And, like, you kind of let aggro do their thing a little too much, actually. Let's put this down. Let's just do it. I don't have a way to... Unless he interacts. So if he tries to do something to this, then I can cast the Get Lost, and this goes up to a 3/4 on the stack. Like, it's a 1/2 when it sees the Get Lost. But I can't pay 3 for anything, so that's just going. Yeah, so this deck is really... has an iffy aggro matchup because, like, it needs time for consistency's sake. You need to draw, like, average or above average to beat aggro, and they need to not draw above average at the same time. It's honestly a lot to ask for, like, unironically, and so it's hard to say that the aggro matchup is good, but you will be seeing in this game that the control domain, Jeskai control, and a large number of other control decks are very easy. Also, people go for the Manland instead of the Muraganda Raceway a lot, and yeah, if you ever play anyone playing this after this video goes up, don't do that. Go for the Raceway. The Manland's not as important as the Raceway. Even, like, in a game like this, it's not as important. Oh, I might be temp locked down in here. Let's see if we get this damage in. Huh. The only thing in double is Ginger Brute. And Overlord is about to come out. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be temp locked down in here. Just to take the map tokens down too. And if he deals with the temp lockdown later, a protected Mendicant will come back. I don't know, seems pretty good. We're getting it. Alright, nice. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Again, the reason this the reason this matchup is so good is because it's we get the Mendicant back. It's very unlikely he does anything important before we find Ugin. In some capacity. And wow, yeah, it's getting easier. Can we just make 6 so I don't have to get lost it? I'll be able to make... Yeah, we can. Okay. We can hold the get lost up. Yeah, our funny little Ginger Brute plays that we get to make when we get in the pan. Not really a good play. I'd rather those be Ugin triggers at this stage in the game, but because we don't have Ugin and we don't even have 7 lands, and they have a high value trade for the Ginger Brutes, doesn't hurt. The fact that they'll probably be double deadly cover-upping the Guide Light itself is good too, because it doesn't matter like he probably thinks it does. Like he probably thinks it does. It is not important, realistically. It's just something that we're doing to kind of fill in the early game a little bit, which is why there's only 2, right? It's not an important part of the game plan. It's something we just happen to be doing for a little bit. Now that we're in this game state, it's going to turn into a Vish card, discard, draw a lot of turns in a row. Or not. Okay, never mind. That was probably correct. I still think he should have gone for the Muragana Raceway, but I'm pretty low on cards, so it's not wrong. What's he doing there? Ooh. Well. We are now in Ugin range. I'm gonna be discarding Ginger Brute here. Oh, you can discard Glyph Bridge. It's not like he's playing into it. No, he might. It's domain. Who knows? Let's just wait and see. We are now in Ugin range because we have 6. I don't know if he has a 3rd demo field to turn it off. That's not a big deal. No way. You can see the Glyph Bridge. The Glyph Bridge is public knowledge. It's public. You can see it. Is he reading it wrong? Does he not understand how it works? What's going on here? You can literally just read it whenever you want. What are you doing? What the heck was that about? Both of them? I would have done it to one. I absolutely would have done it to one. And I would be surprised at a second one. I don't know what that freaking... Goodness gracious. Wow. That's cool. This Ugin will be drawing a card. Most likely. We can draw the 1-drops as 0-drops here because of the scoreboard. And we are not being pressured in any way, so we have all the time in the world. I'm actually... Oh my god. I'm also expecting the Ugin to go here. I'm expecting it to get... I was expecting it to get lost, dude, or Leyline Binding, but I guess not. I'm expecting the Ugin to... Oh, wait, no, this is Golgari. There is no get lost. There could be a get lost, but I don't think there is. Yeah, very surprising that did not get at least Leyline Binding. Maybe there is no Leyline Binding. If they start attacking this Ugin, that is just a losing man's game. And again, you're seeing why this matchup is so insane for me, because, like, they can't affect... Oh, man, that is 9. I don't even have 1 open? Wow. Alright, fair enough. You know, what can I say? I said I was expecting it to go, and it went. There's enough going on. Oh, we're losing the courier. That sucks. I think I'm going to end up flipping the Glyph Bridge next turn, so that if he attacks... So I'll have 1 left over. If he attacks, I will be able to get lost... without any... Okay, so now I'll super really get lost. Luckily, that's in time, because that's our last planes. Our last basic. Go ahead and flip this so that if he attacks with the guys, he can't cast anything, and he can't interact properly when we get lost both of them. I'm going to leave all the mana up. I would like to get Market Backwalker draws soon. We are now in that part of the game where we have get lost for our own Market Backwalker. So I'm going to be dropping a lot of mana into that thing at some point. I'm going to put it down for like 3, and maybe it was right to do it this turn, but I think that being able to protect the Market Backwalker with the Glyph Bridge, with the Wander Glyph on his turn when he attacks is going to be very nice. So, let's see if he taps out again into his main lands like a crazy person. What are they trying to draw here? What are they looking for? Weird. Okay. Another Fabled Passage, and we cannot use it this one, so pay 5 instead of 6 because of the scoreboard. And if he tries to Leyline Binding this, we can get lost it. If he tries to attack, I will block with it. Whatever we gotta do. The Fabled Passage just sucks to draw, but it's fine. Them's the breaks. Deadly Cover-Up. I don't like that. We get our 3 draws. He might take something important. He might take Ugin. That's really important. Is it Ugin? It's Ugin. Okay, so he took the Mendicants and he took the Ugins. Our win con is going to collapse down into the... Wow! I was gonna say Karn's Thopter, but now I don't know anymore. This is a very lucky guy, isn't he? 26 cards in his deck? Maybe he's not that lucky. Get lost. What? That's not important. And maybe this will draw us the Karn's Thopter. Nah, it didn't. Go Racer Scoreboard. No, we don't have Mendicant anymore. Racer Scoreboard. Let's see if we can find... No. Let's go ahead and start pumping again. I'm not even going to... I don't know. Is there 4 Deadly Cover-Ups at this point, do you think? Onto a Ginger Brew. Okay. Should I invest more? It's not bad. It's not a bad one. Let's just do it. At this point, let's just hold up anything and everything, right? Although I'd really like to find Karn's Thopter at some point. Hopefully this is what will find it for us. This Market Backwalker right now. Liliana! For that.
This is more enjoyable than slaying demons.
I guess they did take Get Lost. So we can Glyph Bridge for just the Haunt Woods, which I think is worth it here. And then we don't care about cards anymore because he has so many cards that the overflow is kind of making it irrelevant. Let's just go ahead and Perilous Snare the Lily for sure, which I guess I should have done first because I thought I was going for a token until this second when I remembered I can get Lily with this. So that's a mistake on my end. That's just a misplay. Let's go ahead and make this guy huge. Maybe we'll get to draw 5. I don't know. We have, like, this deck has so many different ways to present low investment or, like, floaters, I guess. Like, things that you have to deal with, but you can't really properly deal with. Because if he lets me draw 4 here, I will I should draw a card this time. Oh, that's not good. Well, it's fine. We have time. Oh, perfect. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 2 open. Let's take Virtue this time. And then let's flip this. And then let's make the Market Back Walker. No, let's get this thing up to 10. Let's get this thing up into range to win in 1 turn. And then we're gonna spread out a little bit here for blocker's sake. And if he has a 4th deadly cover up here, I think we're gonna be pretty much out of win cons almost. That's annoying. That's really annoying. Do we draw the Karnstopter now? No? Is it in there? I'm pretty sure it's in there. I'm pretty sure there's 2 in there. They're in the bottom 15. That's insane. Because we really need to see that Karnstopter at this point. And it's really becoming a problem that we don't have it. Alright, well that's a start, I guess. Oh, I can't even put it down this turn. Oh my god. Karnstopter, hello? Karnstopter, hello? We're gonna need this Karnstopter pretty soon here. He took away every other win condition. The fact we don't have it still is just outrageous. Maybe it's just Perilous Snare the token? No, there's no way. Let's just freaking continue on as we're going. I can do a 5/5 Combat Courier, draw a card again. Maybe it'll be Karnstopter. I don't freaking know. At this point, I'm just getting pissed off. Do I draw? Do I draw? Do I draw? Or do I hold up the counterspell? The counterspell's not even for anything. Well, he might put down, like, something stupid that I want to counter. I don't know. Change the equation is not... It's not like it's bad. I can put down the Market Back Walker. No, what? Can I put a land down? We have time. We have time. We have time. He's starting to produce win conditions. It's okay. Courier, Anchorage +4 is 10, so we're still in range anyways. No, the foods, we're not in range at all. Oh my god, it was so late. It's so late. Oh, I should have put the Anchorage down. No. Now I'm stupid. Can I do this? No. That was really mistaken. That was a huge mistake. I can't believe I did that wrong. I mean, at this point, it's getting pretty bad. I don't know. I can't believe I forgot to put down the Anchorage first. That's so bad of me. What's he looking for now? Another deadly cover-up? And change the equation once he plays it as a creature. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what else we're holding that for. It's not like he can cut down us. It's not like he can... I mean, he can have Anoint. He can have Anoint at this point. I don't know why he still has an Anoint up somewhere, but... He's at 11. Ugh. Children's Edict? Well, that doesn't matter. If anything, that makes it more likely that we win. The heck? Oh my god. Oh, hey. Well... Is he just saying better do 11? So there's no way he interacts with this because he's going to be putting us on, like, we can't deal the last 1 damage, right? if we put down Anchorage last turn, this would be almost guaranteed. And so I feel really stupid for not hunting it down. But there's no way he interacts and he doesn't have Tish, because that'd be insane. Nice. That was a lot to fight through. But this deck's matchup against other slower decks is so outrageous that sometimes it simply doesn't matter. There's almost no way for them to win, no matter how they line their cards up. Although the turn where he put down both of the Regents into a known Glyph Bridge was truly amazing. We want the Ghost Vacuums to recur our own board. And we want the oh, good hand. We want the Ghost Vacuums, this is a weird one, to exile every single Ugin that gets to the grave. So every time an Ugin touches the grave, we want it out of there. Because it's very important that we cannot get, and he probably has the ends in there now, but we can change the equation those, I think, unless I forgot what that card is. But if I remember correctly, and we can, okay, this is immediately a much better hand than last time. We want to be Ghost Vacuuming our Ugins so that he cannot hit them with the whatever the card is called. Let's just do it. I actually usually let these go because it's more important to have something for the Shieldred's Edict later. But in this case, our hand is so tuned that I think it's worth going all the way in anyways. I'm going to be flashing in the Liberator. No, wait, let's draw cards. Yeah, this hand is a little too tuned for me to care about that. If we can find a second Muragana Raceway, we can get the Ugin down even earlier. If we can find a Racer Scoreboard, we can get the Ugin down even earlier. At this point, we are just trying to stack. Yeah, perfect. I don't know why people do this. I think they think the Market Backwalker matters or that it'll, like, grow or something. Oh my god. Yeah, that's insane. We win. I hope we win. If we lose this one, I'm gonna freak out. Let's get one win in there and then I'm gonna stop recording. 2-2 is fine for a video. This deck isn't perfect. You already know it performed poorly recently. So nothing too surprising if it's not outrageous in Mythic Ladder. It's outrageous in Diamond Ladder, that's for sure, and in Platinum Ladder. The way it was almost like a straight line on the way up, although I did have some losses in there. There was like a on the last win I needed to get into Mythic, I like lost like 3 in a row and then had to win back up a little bit. That's not good enough. If you think that's good enough, you're crazy. That's a weird draw. Yeah, if you think Lily's good, oh my god, if you think Lily's good enough here, that's insane. And I maybe no, it's a Planeswalker. There's no reason to wait. I think there's nothing else to do with this many lands in our hand. If we get minus 11 to Ugin, everything will be fixed. That doesn't really matter. I wonder if he's actually trying to stop me from minus 11ing the Ugin. No, yeah, I'm gonna minus 11 the Ugin, you freak. I have too many lanes in my hand to not minus 11 the Ugin. He's tapping out? Goodness gracious. I drew another one anyways. It's fine. Here we go. Alright. I'm glad to get this play on video, as I completely ruin his life forever. There's essentially no way to interact with this nonsense. And, yeah. So, it's Ugin. Luckily, we have no colored card on the field. If there's a Perilous Snare on the field, you have to, like, hit no every single time you play all 14 of these. You just have to say, like, no, I don't want to exile anything. It's really annoying, actually. Because there's so many cards in your hand that it becomes too easy to misclick. Like, actually pretty easy to misclick something that matters. And there's Mendicant, so let's go ahead and make this even more impossible for him by doubling everything we play. We don't play the Haste land, which only comes up in insane... Oh, we have to start hitting no for the Mendicant. It only comes up in, like, these freakish game states where, like, you're gonna win anyways, so there's no reason to play it. But it is funny. Let's make sure that the game doesn't use this last colored land, because it loves to do that. Oh, we're not playing anymore. Submit 0. Oh, we are using mana still. Double Ghost Vacuum. Submit 0, double Ghost Vacuum. And each of these Ghost Vacuums will be essentially, we're just going to exile like our own grave and stuff that we don't care about. And essentially use it to like get back stuff. We have to play all these this turn. I'm going to stop doubling stuff now because it doesn't matter anymore. Well, I guess I can double the Gingerbreads. But if we get like swept here, it'll be kind of annoying.
My resources are yours.
I'm surprised he's still here, so he must have a wrath of some kind. Even though it clearly isn't going to be important that he has, like, the wrath isn't going to really accomplish anything. Submit 0. Decline. Let's just do this before I forget. This can happen. Submit 0. This can happen. And then I'm just going to sack off one of the real ones. Because it doesn't matter. And then let's play the last 2. Exile nothing. The last one, exile nothing.
Success.
Go ahead and swing out.
I am the master of this world.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a pretty good Planeswalker ult, I'd say. As far as Planeswalker ulting goes. Pretty outrageous. I would call this game over. There's Deadly Cover-Up, so expected that. There is an Ugin in there. Let's get Ugin out of there first. So part 1, make sure there's no way for him to get to Ugin. Part 2, let's start exiling stuff we want to bring back. So I want to be able to bring back Liberator. I want to be able to bring back Gingerbrute. This brings back real copies of them, so like I want to bring back the Courier. I want to bring back the Market Back one. I think I still have one more. I want to bring back... we could just take the Get Lost away. And he can hit one of these guys on the field. That's all of them? Yeah. He's taking Combat Courier. As he, I don't know, pretends he has a win condition still. Because we're going to be producing, like, insane value from here on out. Everything has flash. The Ugins even have flash now, so the first thing I'm going to do next turn is pay 6 to get the Karnslopter back, which is over here. And then using the... So because it brings back real ones, even after it dies... Even after this Thopter dies, it'll go to grave again. It doesn't have a finality counter, so we can just get it again. Which is actually just outrageous. Like, it's like truly outrageous that you can do that. We can just discard a land here. Everything has flash in our hand, so it doesn't really matter what we do. At this point, we're just looking for things to bring back for 6 that are worth it. And it's going to be stuff like his... Oh! I see. He took it for the collect evidence. Yeah, the cover-up's not going to be able to do enough to us anymore from here. And I think I'm going to set up the Mendicant to kill him with. We can't give it haste, unfortunately. So I guess I have to draw one if I really want to use it that way. But it's fine. I would rather not lose this. He's tapped out? Oh, he's tapped out. So if we pay 2, then we pay 4. It'll stay on the field. So let's pay 2. That'll trigger. Let's pay 4. Yes. Exile the beans while we're here. Exile submit 0. Another counter. Let's keep the old one. Because it has more counters on it. That's not going to work. Let's go ahead and start exiling stuff again. Our own graveyard. I want the Gingerbrute back. I want the other Karnslopter back. Where is it? It's down here. I want that back. I want the Mendicant back, even though it's not going to have haste. Your graveyard. Let's get Mendicant into play again. Let's go, Gingerbrute. Let's go the other Gingerbrute, because we're going to sack one of these off this turn. I can get the other Ugin later in response to anything else. Let's put down another Russ's Anchorage, bring up the first one, because we can. Let's go ahead and produce all this colorless mana before the game makes us waste it by not auto-tapping anything. Where's the Mendicant one? One of these is Mendicant under it. I think I see it. Is it this one? No, is it this one? Is it this one? It's this one. Let's get our Mendicant back, get our Gingerbrute back, let's draw another card. Going to 18 cards in deck? Scary. The ones on the field are the ones I can't save. Let's get rid of Ugin again with our one that we're just not using. Oh, we can let Ghost Vacuum go, obviously. And I think now we just win, for sure, easily. Where's that one again? This one? He's at 7. Let's go ahead and do some of this. Nice, nice, nice. Oh my god, it's doing that thing again. It's not using the colorless mana. Good lord. Yeah, I don't forget. Okay, cool. Well, that was a good one to end on. So, hope you enjoyed that. Once again, make sure to check out Kyoukai. The Kickstarter will be starting on June 10th. I pushed it back from June 1st because it wasn't getting that much attention. I'm going to be making a push to get more attention on it as we lead up to it now, finally. So, I'll be making more Kyoukai videos than Magic videos for a good long while. Please check them out. Please like and subscribe and do what you normally do on a YouTube channel, because I think this game is really fun. I really hope that you try it out. If you want to try it out, you can get the game on Steam for free as a demo, but it's going to be $15 for all of set 1, all 181 cards. It is a isometric RPG based card game. I don't want to say TCG because it's not being printed physically as packs right now. What it's going to be coming out as is a simulator, a very simple simulator where you pay $15 for it and you get everything. I don't have cosmetics in there. I don't have packs or anything like that. Nothing is unlocked. You just have access to the full card pool right off the bat. Once the game is released in early access, after the Kickstarter, and like a couple months after the Kickstarter funds, if it funds. Immediately after it funds, the game will be starting an alpha test that all Kickstarter backers of any tier that gets the game, so all the $15 or higher Kickstarter tiers, you will be invited to the alpha. You will be able to test the new cards with everyone else in the community. I'll be making changes as per the community, testing and running tournaments all the time with merch pricing and stuff like that. So I really hope that I get to be excited to do that with everyone. And yeah, check it out. There's a link in the description. There's all that stuff is on the screen too. So give it a look. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this artifact Ugin deck. Maybe the only deck with 4 Ugins in all of Magic right now. Most decks are running 2 Ugins as kind of like a bomb, but as you just saw, the Ugins in this deck are engine. It is just part of what you're doing. So it's really like this is an Ugin deck, right? Like, we're Ugining. And maybe the Karnstopter will inspire some people in other formats too to turn the Ugin into part of the strategy rather than the end point. So yeah, hope you liked it. And hope you check out Kyoukai. Check it out, please.